I would first like to congratulate all of you on the orderly, dignified manner in which you executed the march from the Washington Memorial. You have already told the world what we are here for and shown them by your courage, determination, and your order that we mean business.
You know, one of the things that I remember Josie talking about is just her family and her family's commitment to the community. And when you grow up in a household like that, it's almost impossible not to feel like you need to carry on that legacy.
She had her own experience with challenges of being from a Black family and trying to find ways to navigate their way through segregation. I think because of those lived experiences, it provided an opportunity for Josie to be kind of behind the scenes, but very forceful leaders in the civil rights movement.
Josie is a legend in her work with the civil rights movement from the 60s all the way up to today.
The thing about Josie Johnson that is just absolutely true, beyond a shadow of a doubt, is that she's a pioneer for change. She was always there looking around the room, listening to the dialogue and asking, is my community's voice being heard? Are their concerns being addressed? And when the answer was no, she would be quick to raise her hand and say, I'll be the voice, but I'll also bring some other people to the table.
One of the misperceptions about Josie that I would like to correct was that one could not somehow combine Josie's graciousness, her eloquence, her empathy, with the ability to deal in a direct, tough, forceful way. Josie is a tactician, strategist, activist, rolled up in one beautiful ball of soulful fire.
So I'm going to ask you this question again. For someone who hasn't met Josie Johnson, how would you describe her?
The first thing I would say about Josie is her warmth, her compassion, her genuine interest in people.
She's such a giving person who is so grounded, very down to earth.
A force to be reckoned with in anything that she's passionate about.
She's smooth, even-tempered person, easy to talk to, good sense of humor.
I'd say the words that come to mind for me when I think about Dr. Johnson are a force.
Caring and undying love for her people.
I had never seen a woman that powerful yet unassuming, that beautiful, that dignified, elegant is, I think, the word I would use to describe her. And I fell in love with her right away.
She is one who lifts other people up. When you say you want to be like Josie, you want to be someone who lifts others up.
She is a living icon in this community. But when you meet her, she's just Josie.
As they say, justice is what love looks like out loud or in public. That's Josie.
I think a lot about, the charismatic leader. The thing that a charismatic leader has that I think a true leader has is the ability to build the capacity of people.
I think there are several very important distinguishing characteristics of Dr. Johnson's leadership style and in her leadership activities that I've witnessed over close to a 40-year period.
We march today for jobs and freedom, but we have nothing to be proud of. For hundreds and thousands of our brothers are not here, but they're receiving starvation wages or no wages at all. Those who have said be patient and wait, we must say that we cannot be patient. We do not want our freedom gradually, but we want to be free now. We must say, wake up, America, wake up, for we cannot stop, and we will not and cannot be patient.
Josie has played a huge role in the civil rights movement.
When I say the civil rights movement, I am also talking about issues of equity, issues of race, and gender equity.
And I remember reading about the risk that she knew came with this.
People were harmed, hurt, and some even killed for being willing to stand up for civil rights. I don't think Josie was so concerned about the risk that she wasn't willing to roll up her sleeves and say, let's get this done. Sometimes to make change, you have to take risk. She's willing to risk her life for our freedom.
There was a great exhibit at the Minnesota History Center, and the exhibit was called Minnesota's Extraordinary Women. And she was featured. She was featured because of her work with the civil rights movement, because she was part of the delegation that went to the March on Washington, because she played such an inspiring role to our key leaders in Minnesota who were in positions of power to make good civil rights policy decisions.
Dr. Josie Johnson has a very rich public legacy. Much of it is here at the University of Minnesota. And she grew up in the South and graduated from a wonderful HBCU.
Fisk was an important asset in Josie's career.
An institution like Fisk is now an oasis in the sense that it has been a free institution, free to bring all kinds of persons into a situation where they could study and learn in an atmosphere of mutual respect for each other.
From the minute you step on those campuses, you're surrounded with the history of Black people. What we have done, the remarkable people who have walked those pathways, sat in those classrooms. It's powerful.
The experiences that some of us have had at HBCUs really does shape our perspective of the world and how these institutions really became the only way that many of us could access higher education, and how through some of these partnerships with predominantly white institutions that provided the opportunity for us to go on and expand and build on that foundation.
Her role in trying to develop ties, strong institutional ties between the HBCUs and the University of Minnesota is one of the signature marks of her accomplishments here at the university. The programs that she helped initiate that would lead to the Common Ground Consortium in the College of Education and Human Development.
I had the rare opportunity of coordinating this program with my colleagues here at the University of Minnesota and a very talented group of educators and leaders of these 10 HBCUs, and they would send students to the University of Minnesota at the post-baccalaureate level. What was so impressive about this experience is to see these eager students come to the University of Minnesota, be embraced by the faculty here and by their own faculty mentors. If they came here as a student, the mentorship followed them from their host institution. It really extended beyond training or educating and preparing teachers for the classroom. It was also a very powerful leadership program that had, I think, a profound impact on Minnesota and beyond.
I will say the one thing that I appreciate most from Dr. Johnson is that she is very forthright about advancing the good of Black people and Black communities.
I see Josie as this endearing, always available, always caring role model. The role model that has taught us how to love, that has taught us how to care, that has taught us how to listen, that has taught us to act on our love. That's a legacy that she continues to carry on. I feel a sense of obligation and an honor to say that that's the legacy that I want to carry on to, that legacy of caring, that legacy of giving, that legacy of love from Josie, so that I'm also passing it on to future generations. That's just like Josie's doing today.
Sometimes people are afraid to say Black, and I just really appreciate it as a Black person, as a Black woman, as a Black scholar, being able to hear my elders really, who are respected and who have come before me. It gives me permission to name Black and to celebrate Black, which is not always celebrated, and to be unapologetic about engaging in that struggle towards justice for Black people.